everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Dr. Jason Uchida. I'm a doctor of naturopathic medicine and your host of this program. Welcome to Island Wellness, a program that is designed to educate you about naturopathic medicine. Today is February 24th, 2013. I graduated from the National College of Naturopathic Medicine in Portland, Oregon in 1988. I've been practicing naturopathic medicine in Hawaii for the last 24 years. Naturopathic physicians are licensed in the state of Hawaii as primary care providers, just like medical doctors. We have a very special program lined up for you because we have introduced our special guest, Ashley. Ashley suffered from eczema and seborrheic dermatitis of the scalp. Stay with us to learn if once again naturopathic medicine can cure the incurable eczema. Before we meet our guests, let me give you a brief introduction to naturopathic medicine. Naturopathic medicine is a primary healthcare system founded on the honored universal principle that the human body has a mechanisms in itself to heal itself, no matter what the current status may be. Therefore, the human body is the ultimate healer. Furthermore, a physician's true role is to support this process by using the modalities of treatment that work in harmony with the body's natural healing ability. Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, practiced these same principles thousands of years ago. Well, that's enough about me and naturopathic medicine. Let's find out if it works. To help illustrate this, I typically ask a patient to share his or her experience with naturopathic medicine with you so that you can get a better understanding of how this safe and effective form of medicine works. Our special guest suffered from eczema of the hands, the legs, and seborrheic dermatitis of the scalp for many years. Eczema is one of the most common, tenacious, bothersome skin problems we have in America today. Dependent on the medical textbook you read, eczema affects between 6 and 12% of us on a regular basis. Its definition in Greek means to boil out. At its worst, this is exactly how the skin of eczema may look. The skin gets swollen, red, bumpy, and spongy, filled with serum. The serum can weep out of the scratched and aggravated skin. When the serum dries, it hardens into a crusty scab. When it becomes a chronic problem, the skin may become scaly or crack, open into painful fissures. Individuals suffering from chronic eczema who scratch constantly will develop several layers of thickened hard skin with a grayish or blackish pigment. The eczema can occur in patches and affect one small area, or when it's at its worst, it can cover the entire body. Eczema usually affects the folds of the body such as the inner elbows, wrists and ankles, back of the knees and legs, the buttocks, and behind the neck and ears. But when the eczema is at its worst, no area of skin will be left untouched. Typically, a person with eczema suffers from an unquenchable voluptuous itch. It is the maddening itch of eczema that drives people crazy. The itch typically intensifies when it's hot and humid, and at night while trying desperately to sleep. It is during these moments that the itch can be so intense that the patient scratches until the skin is shredded into a tattered rag of open wounds, weeping of serum and blood. So how severe is severe? Medicine considers eczema that is covering 2% or less of the body to be mild. The surface area of one palm of the hand is considered about 1% coverage. A moderate case of eczema is 3 to 10% coverage of the body, and a severe case of eczema is covering greater than 10% of the body. What makes eczema one of the most frustrating skin conditions is that conventional medicine has no cure for it. That's right, if you have eczema and you ask your medical doctor if this treatment is going to cure it, he's going to tell you no. You ask, why doesn't conventional medicine have a cure for eczema? Simply put, it really is not trying to cure eczema. Let's find out why conventional medicine completely misses the mark on providing true help for people suffering from eczema. And if you have eczema and wish to eliminate it completely, stay with me to find out how. According to medicine, immunology, and science, eczema is caused because there are toxins inside the body. Our immune system responds to these toxins, which are also called antigens, with what is called a type 3 hypersensitivity response. Basically, in the type 3 immune system response, the immune system sends out immune system cells called antibodies. These antibodies are like security guards and janitors. They gather up all of these toxins or antigens, grabs hold of them, and escorts it out of the body through the skin. As the antibodies corral the antigen, they fix complement to the toxin. Complement is like a chemical distress signal, a call for help, a rescue flare that guides other immune system cells to the toxins. Complement is like what a jet plane fighter uses to guide their missiles to its target. The jet fighter paints an infrared marker on its target to guide its missiles to the tank or a building it wishes to destroy. Complement guides the other immune system cells called polymorphonuclear leukocytes, otherwise known as PMNs, to the targeted poisons. When the polymorphonuclear leukocytes find the antigens, they release chemotactic factors, which are like acids that destroy the targeted toxin. Just like the missiles from the jet plane fighters damage more than its intended targets, the PMNs and its chemotactic factors also accidentally damage other structures or tissue nearby. In the case of eczema, collateral tissue damage from the type 3 immune system reaction produces the red, inflamed, bumpy, itchy, weeping skin that we see in eczema. So in essence, eczema is actually a good thing. Eczema is the result of the body's immune system doing its job in eliminating poisons out of the body through the skin. However, the skin problem irritates us and looks really bad, so we don't want it. So we go to the medical doctor for relief. Because medicine and immunology and science understands that eczema is a result of our immune system removing toxins through the largest elimination organ of the body, the skin, conventional medicine uses corticosteroids and other immunosuppressive drugs that stop the immune system from removing the toxins through the skin and producing eczema. So when we use these immunosuppressive drugs, the eczema subsides because the immune system has been stopped in performing its job by the medication. However, when the immunosuppressive medications wear off or its use has been stopped, what happens to the eczema? That's right, it comes right back, and usually worse than its initial onset. Why worse? Because now there are more toxins inside the body than before because the immunosuppressive drugs have kept the toxins inside the body, and the level of toxins are accumulating and escalating at the same time. And that is why conventional medicine doesn't have a cure for eczema. It chooses to stop the toxins from being released. Conventional medicine chooses to dance around the cause of eczema, creating a sense of false hope that you do not have to pay the piper. Unfortunately, most people who suffer from eczema learn that using corticosteroids and other immunosuppressive drugs lured them unsuspectingly into a tangled mess of escalating disaster after disaster. Naturopathic medicine looks to identify what these toxins are, then eliminate them from the body, and finally prevent its re-entry or its reproduction within the body. This would be similar to draining a pool filled with dirty water. After draining the dirty water, one shouldn't refill the pool with more dirty water. Otherwise, it will require additional ongoing draining, which is what is occurring to individuals that suffer from chronic eczema. The body is continually draining the toxins out of the body and producing the eczema. In a nutshell, that is how naturopathic medicine works in the case of eczema. Identify the cause of the illness and address and fix the cause of the problem. So let's find out how naturopathic medicine stacks up against the incurable eczema. With that being said, let me introduce our special guest, Ashley. Ashley, welcome to Island Wellness.
Thank you.
Can you explain to the audience how long you had the eczema, where it was located, how bad it was, and describe how it looked?
My eczema started in about 2001, and it was just mild, itchy scalp kind of thing here and there. And then I had gone away to college, and when I moved back home in about 2007, it got worse. It was still on my scalp, and then it would be on my leg, on the calf area, as well as on my knee.
Okay.
And it was red at first, really itchy, and then it would turn dark and almost look like a bruise.
Okay, so easily seen.
Yes.
Okay.
And people would ask, what happened? It looked like you got a huge bruise on your leg, but It was actually eczema.
Okay.
The scalp would get really itchy, really
Mm.
flaky, really raw almost, because I would scratch it and it would burn sometimes.
I guess when you shampooed your hair.
Right, right.
And you said it got raw on your scalp, so it was pretty inflamed.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of flaking?
Yeah, it was pretty flaky, and I'd get pretty self-conscious about having to always dust my shoulder off, and or even just, I'd try not to scratch in front of people, but it was really, really itchy.
Was it really difficult not to scratch?
Yes, it was distracting, actually.
Okay,
Yeah, very distracting.
We filmed a program with Annette who had psoriasis on her scalp, and she said the same thing. It was really, really hard not to scratch her scalp in front of people. So a lot of people who have never had eczema before, they don't really understand the intense itch of the eczema. Can you share how the eczema felt to you in relation to the itching that you felt?
Well, it was quite itchy, and I think there was times when, I would try not to scratch it, and I felt like it made it worse by thinking about it and trying not to scratch it. Do you want me to rate it or something?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Some people describe it as the itch is so intense that you have to scratch it, and when you scratch it, it feels so good that you feel like scratching it more.
That's true too.
And then you end up shredding up your skin.
Yeah, I didn't shred it too much, but I did, have abrasions on my skin
because of the scratching.
Yeah.
All right. Would you tell the audience how many doctors did you see for the eczema, and what type of treatment did you receive? Did it work?
I saw a dermatologist, and basically he came into the office and saw me for 2 minutes and gave me a prescription for some kind of topical medicine that I wasn't willing to take, because I was like, he didn't even take time, he didn't really look at me, and I even asked him, could it be something I was eating? And he brushed it off. So I was convinced that something else was going on.
Oh, okay.
Just from a gut feeling, I guess.
Okay. So when was this appointment? Was that in 2001, or was this later on?
It was later, like in 2007 or so.
Okay.
Yeah, and I actually did see another naturopathic physician that it wasn't really appealing to me at that time. Yeah,
the treatment itself?
It was, I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't get a good feeling about it.
Okay, maybe we can talk a little bit about that later when we talk about the treatment that I put you on.
Yeah.
So, so it sounds like you didn't take any medications for your eczema.
No.
So you refused the medications,
Yes.
mainly because of your intellect. You just knew.
I don't
that it
know. I
wasn't
just
gonna
had a
help.
gut feeling. I must have done a little bit of research.
Okay.
Yeah.
And pretty much understood that you were going to get immunosuppressive drugs or corticosteroids,
Right.
which just basically stop the immune system.
I didn't understand it at the time.
Okay.
But I didn't really want to take, use the medication.
Okay. All right. So, a lot of people who have had eczema for a while, they say that because the eczema might be in areas that are visible, that it affects the way they live, the way they dress, places they avoid, those kinds of things. How did the eczema affect your life?
I definitely did wear longer pants, to cover up my legs a little bit more. Most of my wardrobe is black. I have a lot of black, but at that time I would kind of try to avoid it because it would show the flakes a lot more.
Did you have more of a white wardrobe at that time?
No, not really. I did still wear black.
Okay, not as often.
But just not as often, and I did think about it a lot more when I wore black.
Okay. All right. Why did you decide to see me? I know you saw another naturopath before you saw me, and I guess maybe that treatment didn't go very well. Why did you decide to see me at that time?
It was actually an answer to prayer. After seeing the first physician, I just wasn't very sure about where to go. The first naturopathic physician, and I just felt kind of lost. I didn't want to just go to any physician. So I just prayed, that God would lead me to the right person and the right treatment. And that's when I met Quinn, who was also on the show, I believe.
All right. Quinn was on because she had irritable bowel syndrome.
Yes.
Something a little different.
Yes. But she was talking about how she was getting great results from your treatments, and she said, pray about it. He's really great. So I did, and I decided to come and see you.
All right.
That's kind of how it all happened.
When did you come in to see me? About what month and year? Do you recall?
I don't. Do you have
Okay.
it?
No, I don't offhand, but it was probably about maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Right.
Okay. So when you came in to see me, your first visit, what did I say was causing your eczema? What was the diagnosis?
You said that it was a overgrowth of candida.
Fungus.
Yes.
What did you think of that diagnosis?
I hadn't heard about it at all.
Okay.
I hadn't heard of that approach, but I'm really thankful about the way that you were able to explain it, and you took the time to teach me about it, and it made sense.
Oh, it made sense?
Yeah, it did.
So it didn't
It
sound
made sense.
completely crazy?
No, it didn't. It made a lot of sense, especially how, you took out the medical books and you kind of explained it and made it easier for me to understand as well.
So typically if someone comes to see me who has eczema or psoriasis or a skin problem, part of the treatment is we do educate the patient on what's causing the skin problem. So in the case of eczema, there are toxins in the body that we know because of science and immunology that our immune system is removing with a type 3 immune system response through the skin. And our immune system is also killing the toxin as it's removing it out through the skin at the same time, but by accident the immune system damages the tissue that is around that area, which is the skin, and that produces the eczema. So the eczema is actually a good thing, but it looks terrible and it feels terrible,
Right.
so we don't want it anymore and we go to the doctor. And we also learned about what causes the toxin to develop. We also learned what causes toxins to develop in the body when we take certain kinds of medications, like antibiotics, corticosteroids, immunosuppressive drugs, and hormones. That can cause an overgrowth of yeast or candida or fungus, and they make toxins in our body, which our immune system removes with a type 3 and type 4 immune system response, which is eczema and psoriasis.
Right.
All right. So that helped you out a lot, understanding that
did.
process.
I think, and that gave me the motivation to keep going with the treatment too, like understanding why I was doing what I was doing and what was going on in my body. So, yeah, it was very helpful to be educated about it.
The treatment that we use as naturopathic physicians are completely different than conventional medicine when it comes to treating eczema. With conventional medicine, they give you a topical typically. If the case is really bad, they may give you an oral immunosuppressive drug or corticosteroid medication. Very easy to take. Rub it on or take a pill. But I asked you to
to change my diet and to take some supplements.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you tell the audience what the diet change was? What foods what foods you eliminated,
Right.
and then what foods you relied on?
Well, the main thing to eliminate was sugars. So no sweets, no cakes, no cookies, but even sugars in the form of fruit and starches, and a lot of things like fermented foods and vinegars,
Right.
like that I had to take out.
tomatoes, eggplant, bell peppers,
Oh, right,
favorite
yeah.
vegetables too,
Mhm.
pork, corn, and soy. I don't know if you ate a lot of soy before.
I did.
Or used a lot of soy sauce,
Mhm.
so we couldn't use those things for a while. And white rice, potatoes, sweet potatoes, pasta, noodles, bread, crackers.
Right.
A lot of the big favorites,
Right.
dairy products. Let's say at least that's most of them. So, was the diet change easy for you?
Definitely was not easy. There's a lot of things in there that I love, and I considered myself to be a pretty healthy eater before this happened. So it was hard for me not to have fruit and not to have yogurt. Even oatmeal I couldn't have.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes,
Right.
yes.
So those are like healthy foods that I thought were healthy, but I
Mhm.
just couldn't eat it on the diet.
Yeah. So a lot of times people think a healthy food is healthy for everybody across the board.
Right.
But unfortunately, even healthy foods could be causing certain individuals some health problems, like the soy and the corn and tomatoes or even fruits, for instance.
Mhm.
But you were allowed to eat 2 fruits.
Right.
We don't want to scare everybody away. What were those 2 fruits?
It was papaya
Okay.
and then apple?
Avocados.
Oh, avocados.
Avocados. All right. Okay. So when I told you what your treatment was going to be, did you think it was going to work?
After you explained what was causing my eczema, it made sense that it would work.
Okay.
Um,
So you had faith.
I did have
What?
faith. I
You're
was willing to give it a try.
all right. Not everybody would have faith in that kind of treatment. I mean, you're going up against powerful medications from conventional medicine against
Mhm.
a diet change. It
Right.
doesn't seem like it's very powerful, but you'll learn how powerful it was
Oh,
for
yes,
Ashley.
yes.
All right. So Ashley, the diet change is a big change for everyone. Most
Mhm.
people are eating a lot of simple carbohydrates, tomatoes, eggplant, corn, soy, dairy products. Was the diet hard for you to follow?
It was hard, even though I enjoyed eating healthy foods, and I actually found joy at times, getting into the kitchen, trying to experiment with things. And
Mhm.
but there were times when I just got really frustrated, and I was like, I want to eat cake, or I don't know. I just want to eat shoyu on my food, or
Mhm,
put
mhm.
salad dressing on my salad, and I felt discontent at times, a
Okay.
little frustrated. But I'm just really thankful for the journey and the way that God guided me through it,
Mhm.
and I feel like that's really what kept me going. He provided food for me in times that I didn't expect. Like, people would come and bring me an abundance of papayas or a giant cucumber from their yard.
Very good.
So I'm really thankful to have seen God work in my life in that way.
So you got to see small miracles happening for you,
Yeah.
and doors opening for
Yes.
you where maybe otherwise you might not have, otherwise where you might not have seen God's hand at work.
Yes, I think, and it was times when I really needed that encouragement too.
Mhm.
So it was like I was ready to give up at times, but
God works in
there,
mysterious
yeah.
ways. Yeah. No doubt it is difficult, right? Because it is a radical diet change for most people. And we don't want to fool people into thinking it's going to be easy. And that's why we always ask, was the diet easy or hard? And most people do say that it was really a difficult change. But it's almost never getting well in a straight line or being really successful with the diet. There are times where you do have temptation.
yes.
But you were able to ward them off.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and I found comfort and reassurance through, reading the Bible, and I just felt that God gave me that encouragement right when I needed it. So,
All right.
yeah.
When did you first start seeing significant improvement in your skin condition?
Well, I know when I first started the diet, there was a little bit of increase in the
Okay.
eczema, like expected. But shortly after, it was only like maybe 3 weeks into it,
Okay.
I felt that it
You-
actually got a lot better.
A lot better. So it was happening pretty fast for you.
Yes, yes.
All right. I'm sure that helped with encouraging
Yes.
encouraging you to go on. So, would you tell the audience about the flare-up at the beginning of the treatment?
So once you start the treatment, I believe you explained it as the like the candida dying off.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a slight increase in my eczema. So I saw more redness, more itchy, more flaking, but it didn't last very long.
Yeah, only a week or so, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So you weren't alarmed that it had worsened.
No, you warned me that it would happen, and
Okay. The body is an amazing organism. According to the Bible, God created the human body in His image.
mhm.
So that's why naturopathic physicians feel that the human body can heal itself if given the opportunity.
Right.
So initially, as the candida are dying off because they're not eating the sugars and they're not making as much toxins, the immune system goes to work to remove the toxins through your skin at a higher rate. And that causes the flare-up. But I'm glad you stayed the course and that didn't alarm you.
Yes.
Okay.
It was actually a little bit exciting because I thought, oh, he said this would happen and it's happening, so it must be working. So.
Were you surprised that you were getting better in 3 weeks?
I was. It was really neat to see that, like, I could make changes in my own life, that I could take steps for myself, and I had the power to make healthy, wise decisions, and it was getting better.
All right.
Yeah.
So would you tell us how long it took for the eczema to completely go away?
I'm not too sure. I know it took longer for the scalp to heal.
Mm. Scalp, unfortunately, scalp lesions, whether it be seborrheic dermatitis or psoriasis, does take the longest to go away.
Right.
So usually the areas of the skin will clear up before the scalp will start to clear up.
Yeah, I actually wasn't sure. I wasn't keeping track of.
Yeah, well, that's good. You didn't care how long it took.
No, it was better. So.
Yeah, it took close to a year for
Yeah.
that to clear up.
With
So
the scalp,
maybe
right?
about like 10 months or so. Were you surprised that the eczema completely resolved itself?
No, I wasn't surprised. And after you had explained what would be happening, I really believed that it would. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I know you weren't keeping track of the time you were on the treatment. So this question might not be relevant anymore. But did it seem like it took a long time for your eczema to go away with the treatment?
There were times when I felt that it was long, that I just wanted it to be over. But
Okay.
for the most part, I did enjoy, knowing that I was eating healthier and taking care of my body, and, that things were becoming more in alignment in the way that God created my body to be. So,
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair, because 10 months is a long time.
mhm.
And I would think along that way, 10 months, somebody might be thinking, man, this is taking a while.
Yeah.
But you finally got there.
Mhm.
And what were your thoughts when your scalp and eczema finally cleared out?
It's just a totally different way of living. I feel just more confident, more healthy. I just feel great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of patients do say that after we're done, even though they came in for, let's say, a skin problem or rheumatoid arthritis or fibromyalgia, they usually say that they feel the biggest improvement in their attitude and their esteem,
Right.
for whatever reason. The problem or the health issue has gone away, but also maybe the amount of energy you have is better.
Right.
You feel better. So if you are feeling better about yourself, obviously, you're going to feel better self-esteem, more empowered.
Right.
All right. All right. Are you taking any medications now? I know you weren't taking any medications before you even saw me, but are you taking any medications for your eczema now?
Nope. No
All right.
medication.
All right. So after after the eczema went away, what did we do next with the treatment?
We went through the testing, right, of foods.
Mhm.
So we introduced one food at a time for a course of 4 days, I believe, and I had to eat like a really large amount of that food in the course of those at least 2 days, right?
Right, right.
So this was to test whether I was allergic to foods, and I discovered I was allergic to corn.
Okay.
I think I had a mild reaction to mushrooms.
Mushrooms
right?
also?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But mostly corn. Corn was
Okay.
a big one.
Were you surprised that you reacted to corn?
Yes, I was. I was expecting actually to react to soy because I was eating a lot of soy, and
Okay.
I just kind of thought, oh, it must be the soy, but I don't want it to be the soy. But no, I don't think I expected it to be corn.
Did you eat a lot of corn before?
I didn't think I did, but now that I know corn and know how many things are made with corn,
Mm-hmm.
I did eat more corn than I thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have high fructose corn syrup, right? And that's in almost everything today.
Right.
Yeah.
Corn starch is in a lot of.
In a lot of foods too, yeah.
Mhm.
You had a mild reaction, you had a mild reaction recently, and you think it might have been to corn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a hidden source of corn that
Right.
I can't even identify. So I do get small reactions here and there.
Okay.
Yes.
But more or less, your eczema has gone away.
I mean, the reactions are, really mild compared to before, and I just kind of go back on the diet, take some of the supplements, and it goes away within a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't last very long.
Nope.
Okay.
And it's not even as bad or strong
Oh yeah.
as before.
All right.
Yeah.
So conventional medicine says that there is no cure for eczema.
Mhm.
What do you think about that? Do you think you're basically controlling or curing your eczema?
Yes, I do. I feel that now that I know that I'm allergic to corn or
Mhm.
not able to tolerate the corn, I can make better decisions about what I eat and
Mhm.
avoid, having that reaction. And then I believe that also the candida infection has been eliminated. So,
All right.
yeah.
A lot of patients, or let's say a lot of people who are watching your program,
Mhm.
they heard about the foods that you have to eliminate, right? And that probably will scare about 90% of them right there. Can't eat all the foods that everyone loves.
Right.
But what are you eating now?
I still eat a lot of brown rice
Okay.
and fish, vegetables, and then you have me on a maintenance diet.
Okay.
Of, eating white rice every now and then.
Okay.
I can eat yogurt here and there because I do really love yogurt.
Okay.
And,
What about, like chocolates and ice cream and pastries
Yeah.
and those things? Do you eat them every now and then now?
I do every now and then
Okay.
in moderation.
All right, all right. So your life is, or your diet is pretty much a normal type of diet.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So you don't.
Minus the corn.
Oh yeah, yeah. You don't feel hindered in any way by your diet.
No, I don't. No.
Okay. Was it tough for you being on that diet, going out with your friends while you were being treated?
Oh, I had to plan ahead a lot. Sometimes I would eat a little bit before I went out.
Okay.
Or if I had access to the menu beforehand, I would, look at the menu and kind of plan. Or at potlucks, I would make sure I brought something that everybody could enjoy. I got into this habit of asking the waitress or waiter a lot of questions about what's in the food and
Good
how
for
it's
you.
prepared. And they've actually been quite gracious. I think people are more aware of people with special diet needs, and
Yes.
sometimes they go and ask specifically, and they come back and let me know. So,
Yeah.
it just takes a little more planning and a little more effort, and maybe bothering some people to find out what's in the food, but
Yeah. But most food servers, they don't mind.
no, they don't.
And
actually.
they'll go back into the kitchen, ask the cooks or the chef,
Yeah.
is this food or that food and mixed into the preparation of the
Right.
meal. Very good.
And they want to know usually if there's a food allergy too. So.
How has overcoming eczema affected your life in a positive way?
Oh, it's definitely affected me very positively. I have a better outlook, I feel, of just how nutrition and health can impact your body, thinking about what I put into my body and how it affects me.
Mm-hmm.
And just thinking about the body as a whole in the way that you've taught me. Yeah.
All right. So you haven't had eczema, let's say, for about a year or so now.
Mhm.
Yeah. But when you first came in to see me, you also suffered from other symptoms
Mhm.
that might not have seemed like they were related to the
Oh,
eczema.
yeah.
Do you recall what they were, and could you share that with the audience?
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. I had several health things going on with me that I didn't realize could be related. I
Mhm.
had gums that would bleed and get really swollen. I had a lump in my breast.
Cold sores?
Oh yes, I had a lot of cold sores, and I think at one point I had like 8 really big ones in my mouth, so it would affect the way I talk. And,
Painful.
it was very painful
Mm.
and hard to eat, and I think that was
You had some lightheadedness?
the lightheadedness. That was after I started the
Oh,
diet, I
okay.
think, yeah.
Sinus problems?
Oh yes, I had sinus problems. I was really sensitive to dust and dander and the fog.
Okay.
So I would get a lot of like congestion and sneezing and post-nasal drip. Things
Okay.
Like that.
And menstrual problems?
Yes, I did not have a period for several months, maybe a year.
Mm.
And then when I did get it, it was very, very irregular.
Okay. How's the gingivitis now?
It's very much better. It still comes and goes, I think, with my hormones,
Okay.
the change in my hormones, but it's not nearly as bad. It's healed quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
The sinus congestion.
I don't deal with sinus congestion very much at all now.
So even with the heavy VOG we've been having the last
Yeah,
year, I mean, we've had the VOG for the last
Yeah,
4 years,
yeah,
but the
yeah.
last year?
I get mild reactions.
Okay.
Not nearly as bad. Once in a while I'll get like one that would affect my
Yeah.
throat or things like that. But I feel like my body's not fighting so much. My immune system isn't
Mhm.
fighting so hard, I
Mhm.
guess. So
Yeah, your mucous membrane lining in your sinuses are a lot stronger now
Yeah.
than they were before. How's your menstrual regularity now?
it's very regular.
All right. And how's the cold sores?
The cold sores are significantly better as well. I think we discovered that if I take vitamin C as well, it's
Mhm.
helping me.
Yes.
But on the diet and everything, that tremendously helped my cold sores.
All right. And the breast lump?
It's gone.
Disappeared.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The reason why potentially is that systemic fungal infections affect many systems in the body. Female hormonal system, the sinuses, the mucous membrane lining, which is the mouth, as well as the sinus cavity. So typically the medical books say that the fungus will infect the mucous membrane lining and then invade the body by destroying the mucous membrane lining. So if the fungus is destroying the mucous membrane lining in the sinuses and in the mouth, you can expect cold sores, gingivitis, but also more allergies because you now have puckas in the sinus cavity or the mucous membrane lining in the sinuses, and you're going to be more reactive to airborne allergens like dust pollen mold, animal dander, and VOG. But treating the candida helped your sinuses?
It was really amazing. I think that's what surprised me because I was mostly focused about my eczema.
Mm-hmm.
But to see everything else, heal and get better, I don't think I was expecting all those things to get better because I was mostly expecting the eczema to get better.
Right, focusing on the eczema.
Yes.
And that's the amazing thing about treating the cause of a problem, because many patients have multiple symptoms affecting maybe 5 different organ systems or maybe even up to 10. And they all have different doctors that they see also, right?
Right.
ENT, gynecologist, rheumatologist, gastroenterologist. And lo and behold, if you treat the cause, then many of these symptoms will clear up. And then you can maybe eliminate a few doctors along the way. So there are tens of thousands of people who are affected by eczema in Hawaii alone, to some degree. Do you think that anyone can do this treatment and be helped?
Yeah, I think anyone can do it if they have the motivation to, change the way they eat. And but it's a very doable diet.
It does take some desire, though.
It does, yeah. If you want to do it and get better, anyone can do it.
All right. They're looking at you, Ashley. You're a beautiful young lady. Some people would call you a girly girl. But you need to have some kind of toughness to change your diet the way you did. Did you surprise yourself that you could do it?
Yes, I did.
You did?
It was quite daunting in the beginning to think about it. I found it most helpful to think about all the things I could eat and not to focus so much of, I can't eat this, and it's really sad, I can't have this, and it was easier for me to think about all the abundance of things that I could eat.
Okay. So that's a good question. So we know what you eliminated from your diet, right? So it was a lot of foods, but during the treatment, which foods could you eat, or which foods did you rely on to get through the treatment?
I ate a lot of brown rice. I liked to cook fish often, usually just salt, pepper, garlic or something.
Okay.
Or seasoning with the Bragg's aminos.
Okay, a soy sauce substitute.
Right.
Does it taste like soy sauce?
It does.
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
All right.
Especially in cooking. If you were to eat it like with raw fish or something, it's not as close.
Like
cooking,
sashimi or poke.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in cooking, it's pretty good.
All right.
For snacking, I ate those brown rice crackers.
Okay.
And, carrots with hummus.
Okay.
I think at one point I ate a lot of carrots and papayas. They turned a little bit orange.
Yeah, the palms.
Yes.
All right. Okay. But you were just a lot healthier.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people notice that their palms turn yellowish or orange colored because they're eating a lot more papaya and carrots. Kabocha, yes. Yeah. So you were eating kabocha. All right. Other foods that you relied on. Maybe foods that you didn't think of before you came in to see me. Which foods have you added or did you add in at that time? Like turkey, bacon, those kinds of things?
Oh, right. Yeah, because I was eating vegetarian and more seafood and, I wasn't eating meat before I came to see you.
Okay.
But because I wasn't able to eat soy anymore, I did introduce chicken. But I did try to use, organic chicken.
Okay.
And I did eat turkey bacon a little bit to add some flavor.
Did you have Kahlua turkey or chicken or lau lau?
Oh yeah, I did. I forgot about eating that. I ate Kahlua turkey. I did.
Okay. So, a lot of people are thinking, man, Kahlua pork tastes so good.
Mm-hmm.
How did the Kahlua turkey taste to you?
Oh, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Similar to the Kahlua pork.
Mm-hmm.
Not that bad, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How about, did you ever try like turkey sausage or chicken sausage?
I probably did, but it wasn't a staple kind of food that I ate all the time.
Did it taste really strange to you when you ate those things?
No, but I wasn't a heavy meat eater in the beginning.
Anyway.
To start out.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So we eliminated a lot of foods that you liked, right? Fruits and soy and tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Was that tough? And then what did you replace those foods with?
Well, the soy, I talked about not eating soy, so I had chicken.
Oh, okay.
Tomatoes.
Did you eat a lot of tomatoes before you
I
came in to see me?
did.
Like pastas or?
Right.
Okay.
I ate more stir-fried type foods
Okay.
with making sauces with just like garlic and
Brags.
and ginger, or using fresh herbs.
Okay. Sounds like you created a lot of new recipes.
I did.
Are you still using some of them today?
Yeah, I do.
All right. What would you like to share with anybody who is currently suffering from eczema?
I think that it's very easy to take a pill or to put creams on, and it is difficult to change your diet, but with that extra effort and perseverance, it works, and you can get better, and it changes your life in more ways than one. Yeah.
It does. A lot of patients always mention that.
Yeah.
They feel the benefit not only because their health condition has cleared up, but in other aspects too.
I think it's a growing process, and it's a learning process, and it does a lot to your person and your character too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd like to talk more about that. How did you feel it helped you grow, and how did it change your character?
It's definitely grown me closer to God. I had to depend on a higher power. I couldn't do it on my own, and I needed to trust that God was going to heal me through this diet and through this treatment. And there's a scripture that I would rely on, and it says, "The Lord is my chosen portion and my cup. You hold my lot. The lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. Indeed, I have a beautiful inheritance." And so it just reminded me that, God brought me into this path, this treatment. This is what He wanted for me, and He is my portion. He is my joy and my source of my strength, and He showed it to me throughout this journey. So it was a very big, growing process for me.
So it's really strengthened your Christian faith, and sounds like brought you a lot closer to God.
Yes.
Because He did not let you down.
No.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there are a lot of my patients who tell me that that's kind of what brought them to see me. I'm not saying I have a connection with God, but it's probably the medicine itself, because it's more allowing the body to heal itself. Because the main treatment is the diet, mostly eliminating the bad foods, right? The foods that are obstacles to healing, and that are maybe even bringing on disease. And whether the way they find that message from God is always a little bit different. But it's very interesting to hear my patients tell me that over and over and over again. I'm not sure why. It could be because their illnesses are severe, or they've had it for a long time and they're asking God for help. And
He hears.
He hears, but you gotta ask, right? You got, like Pastor Wayne says, you gotta knock. All right. I'm not sure what you thought of naturopathic medicine before you came in to see me, so I don't know if you care to share that. But what do you think about naturopathic medicine now?
I wasn't sure what to think before. Most of what I knew was just research on the internet. And then I just randomly found some physician here. And it was more, to me, centered around money and wanting, I thought that it was more about, wanting my money. And I couldn't really fully trust the treatment. So that's why I was a little bit more hesitant to just go to see anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel that way when I saw you.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad.
Yeah.
All right, Ashley, I'm sorry to say our time is up. I want to thank you so much for joining us here on Island Wellness and sharing your incredible story with us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you for leading me through this journey, too.
You're welcome. And continued success with beating eczema.